In this experiment, it was found that different liquids have different viscosity levels, and that certain liquids were more viscous than the others. This was tested by letting the marble-sized object fall to the bottom and recording the time it took for it to fall. The aim for this experiment is to find how viscous a certain selection of liquids are. This is necessary to figure out, as then we can tell which liquids are the most viscous and which liquids are the least viscous. The prediction is that the liquids like the tomato sauce and the sweet plum marinade would have a higher viscosity level, meaning that the marble would take longer to reach the bottom. There were many variables that occurred throughout the experiment, and some were out of my control. Here are some of the variables that took place: the height where the marble was dropped, the amount of liquid in each glass, the density and heaviness of all the marbles, and the temperature of the substances. Firstly, grab one of your 5 liquids and measure out 1 cup. Secondly, pour the liquid into the glass. Hold the marble at level at the brim of the glass and have your stopwatch ready. Start the timer as soon as you drop your marble into the liquid. Stop your timer as soon as the marble reaches the bottom of the glass. Put the glass with the liquid and the marble still in it to the side or in a sink. Reset your stopwatch. Record your data. Repeat steps 1 to 7 again until all the liquids have been tested. Pour all the liquids into their original bottles, but remember to grab the marbles out of the liquids with some tongs or with your hands. Then put the glasses and the marbles in, wash them with some soap and hot water, or put them in the dishwasher. Using some paper towel, clean up any spills you made in your area. Put all the liquids back to where they were before. From these results we can see which liquids are the most viscous to the least viscous. Here we can see the time it took for each substance to reach the bottom. The tomato sauce was the most viscous, with it taking over a minute, and the sweet plum marinade was also highly viscous, with the marble taking over 30 seconds to get down to the bottom. However, the milk, cordial and canola oil all were not very viscous, with it all taking half a second for the marbles to reach the bottom. The particle model of matter states that all matter is made up of particles. Compare each substance that you used in your experiment and explain the difference between them in relation to the particle model of matter and the arrangement of particles within each substance, based on your observations and collected results. The particle model of matter states that all substances are made up of things called particles, which make up every substance. In liquids, the particles are very close and tight together, but they have the ability to pass each other and move around in their fixed volume. In this experiment, the results show that the less viscous liquids like the oil, milk and cordial all had low levels of viscosity, meaning that the particles in the liquid were able to quickly move out of the way. However, in the more viscous liquids like the plum sauce and the tomato sauce, the marble took a long time to get through the liquid, implying that it took a longer time for the particles to get out of the way for the falling marble. This means that the more viscous liquids particles would be further apart and would be vibrating more, whilst the less viscous liquids particles would be close together and not vibrating as much. The kinetic theory of matter defines the movement and energy of particles in all of the states of matter. Discuss your results in relation to the kinetic theory of matter and explain any differences between materials you may have seen. The kinetic theory of matter states that everything is made of particles, and if enough heat is applied to the substance, the particles start vibrating and can then change their state. This can also happen in reverse if the substance is cooled enough. In this experiment there were 5 liquids used. However, the milk from this experiment came from the fridge, meaning that its particles would have been cold, making the particles quite still and would have not been vibrating as much as some of the other substances. This is a variable that may change from experiment to experiment. The rest of the substances, however, came from the pantry, which is at room temperature, meaning that the oil, cordial, plum marinade and the tomato sauce were all level playing fields in terms of their particle vibration. This experiment was a success with the results being gathered in concluding that the tomato sauce was the most viscous out of the 5 liquids, and that the oil was the least viscous out of the 5 liquids. Thank you for watching.